Okay, so last time, as you started activating, so basically let's jump right in. Last time you activated, after separating the team to 4 parts, you reactivated the security command, so restarted the system, which will allow you to access it. However, seeing that the swarm, the enemy, whatever is guiding these monsters, this infected is guiding them, it used that moment to conduct a multi-vector assault and attacked you from several different locations, using the fact that you were not grouped up. And while you managed to terminate all enemies, you did, however, as Jackie is running towards Casper that just dragged James to the corridor, like trying desperately to find any way to save him. Jackie will be, if you are going by the rounds number, sadly a little bit too late to at least try, because it's not certain that the Lazarus patch after 5 rounds, on the 5th round it would have worked, because there are some sorry, after like 5 rounds it would have worked, because it would have, the heal check would have pretty hefty penalty, like -5 penalty, even though like the DC would be either 6 or 7. I would have to double check the equipment. I'm gonna clean up the map a little bit. And apart from that, out of your people, also Abram got taken down. However, he was stabilized and he didn't receive medical glands before, the prototype medical stuff before, so it's possible to bring him back up. And also gonna say now that James will not be at risk of turning like infected and like rising back up as a monstrous body. Everybody is slightly the NPCs are slightly shaken from the combat. They are like breathing.
I'm pretty sure one of the youngest decided to book it.
Yes, as you like also exchange information and just look around, you don't see Liz anywhere. And Casper, he will like between like giving short the status report, he will mention that suddenly like Liz started like shooting quietly, almost hitting him, and then he just like started screaming and then just like ran who the fuck knows where. He essentially he lost it. I remember last session I was rolling for like saving throws to see how he would handle himself.
Yeah, double ones.
Yeah, he got like out of 3 rolls, he got like 2 not ones, and the third one was also a failure, because sadly saving throws for like first level characters and like basically NPCs that have like 1 hit die is like 15 or higher. Okay, so now you have like this short moment to like gather up. Yeah, what you want to do before we like move on to the like the stuff that, because the command console is activating, the radios start like bringing to life, but I don't want to like swarm with this. So now we have like a short moment to like what do you want to do?
First off, rush over to Casper and James. See that the James is pretty messed up, and I don't think a Lazarus patch would be able to bring him back this time. So
yeah, you see that he gave up, he let his last breath, and the excessive bleeding that he that he got from the slashes.
Jackie is a trained medical professional, so he knows when you lost too much blood.
Yeah, that's fair.
In that case, he would also call Frederick over.
Okay.
I would indeed go over. I am just not at my computer right now.
Alright.
Okay, so I'm gonna move your token right next to them. Okay.
Alright, Frederick, this is very important. I need you to find Lise and bring him back to me.
Just out of character, that's the guy that ran off, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I understood, and I at least kind of know which way he went, so I guess I'll start going to go look for him.
And meanwhile, Jack is busy collecting whatever this universe's version of dog tags is.
Yeah, that can be like dog tags or like both virtual, like identification on compas or real. Okay, what I want to handle first, because Lise is gone, man. Actually, Frederick, to track a person. Actually, you do have that skill.
I'm surprised, I don't even know what skill it is.
Survive. Because
Ah,
that's used for tracking, and this is what you are specifically trying to do, to track a target.
well then.
Because he has like a run up, like he had like at least 2 rounds of having an upstart, and this is a hostile territory, plus this is like a military base with a lot of gore. So all in all, I would say the DC for that survive check. Actually, let me double check. I need to be completely sure that this is that skill list. Okay, technically it doesn't say for tracking, but I would say that makes the most sense.
I imagine you wouldn't be doing a lot of tracking in a sci-fi game.
Yeah, but I basically want the homebrew focus is for tracking
Uh-huh.
specifically survive. So yeah, roll survive DC 10. Basically, see if you'll be able to like hold on to the trail
Does
based
does
off.
the survey scanner help at all?
Let me double check how is it described.
I don't even know what it is. I just know it's a scanner of some sort.
I would probably say no, but let me double check. Because survey scanner is more like oh god, where is it? Survey scanner is more for yeah, mechanically it doesn't provide any bonuses. Okay. And this is essentially like a scanner mostly for like it can allow you to take atmospheric gravity readings, basic chemical analysis. So basically like a kinda mobile.
That's a no.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll probably still.
that would have been based off wisdom, sadly, because I don't think, yeah, other attributes would sadly not work. Oh, right, I can reveal the area. So like that. Actually, I'm gonna like this token. probably feel that much. And yeah, essentially, you manage to like keep track of it somewhere like here, or maybe even like here, and I need to like reveal more area. So like that.
As I get jumped by a horrible monstrosity and die, and I'm never heard from again.
Hold on.
Yes, I would be trying to sneak and whatnot as well, so if that becomes relevant.
Yeah. Yeah, it's where at this point you realize that yeah, you did know in which direction he was going. However, somewhere like here, there is like a lot of gore, and there's also like movement here, recent. So even if Lise was passing through here, it's sadly due to the amount of like destruction, gore, the amount of shit that's laying around. It's literally impossible to determine which way he went. And sadly, it starts to becoming more and more looking like a wild goose chase. And considering the situation you are in, yeah, it's kinda. And considering that you know, or rather you heavily suspect that the enemy can think to a certain degree, so even if you are sneaky, like this is the thought that it's in your head. Yeah, so sadly the tracks are lost.
Yeah. In that case, I will head back up and report in. Just to
Okay, and this
check
will.
it's hit a dead end, and honestly, from what I saw there, like, it could have been him, but I don't see anything recognizable.
And also one more thing, like considering the situation, you both of you will be heavily surprised if he's not dead already, considering
Yeah.
the ambush predators that the enemy has and whatnot.
I mean, I already wrote him off as dead. I just followed
Yeah.
orders.
Yeah.
He would try to hold back a curse as he takes a deep breath. In that case, I have no choice but to declare him missing in action. For now, we should focus on sticking together and finding a way out. I cannot risk more of our men's lives to essentially instigate a wild goose chase. But for now, we should link up with Sakura and the rest. For now, Casper, strip James of any equipment and say your goodbyes. We have work to do.
What are we gonna do with the body?
For now, let's just let's put him to rest in one of these rooms. If we do make it out, other character, what nationality would James from?
Uh,
Double checks.
Considering like it's more like they are not like specific nationality right now, but you can say that he was like American ancestry, as in like the colonists from several hundred years ago, and he comes
Right,
from that.
so
So yeah,
Viking funeral wouldn't work, but
Give everyone a Viking funeral.
needs must.
Set him
if
on the
needs
fire.
must.
Because we're like, everyone deserves a glorious end, Sergeant, and he was fighting till the end.
And let's honor him as such.
Okay, so he will.
Yeah, go ahead.
Him. And probably, yeah, we will start regrouping at where Sakura is, like the first lieutenant. And he would, for now, and they would also like stand watch. Yeah, and yeah, also one more thing. What are you before we proceed with like what will now will be revealed, because the contact will be somewhat reestablished and shit is going down. Quick question: what are you doing with Abram?
Well, for now, let's just use one of these adrenaline glands that we found. Might be experimental, but
All right. Yep. So he'll be like, good shit. Hurts, but good shit.
yeah.
Probably his reaction. Okay, so 2 charges left, and I need to not heal. Okay, so essentially, my heart is beating so fast, but I'm alive, so I don't care. I just hope I don't go down again.
You and me both. And he motions over to James.
Yeah, he's like pulls his way and pays his respects. Meanwhile, Jackie, you can make this. Will be like an easy check. Either you can make either perception wisdom or heal wisdom.
Notice or heal.
To notice something on first lieutenant.
8.
Yeah, that would be enough. Okay, Jackie, as you have said yourself, you're a trained medical professional. You have experience, so you do recognize the effects of somebody using drugs. Basically, the effects of drug abuse. Seems like despite her outward prim and proper discipline, Lieutenant Sakura, maybe because of the excess of stress of the situation, has a little bit of a drug problem. She seems to be under the influence right now. She's not completely out of it, but like it's clear that she has taken something that kinda.
At this point, I'm more upset that she's not sharing.
We don't have any detox in our medical supplies, do we?
I don't believe so. I mean, it's not like it's not like those are not the combat stims in the book. It's just like, you know, random generic drug that can fucks you up a little bit, relaxes you, but in her case it also gives her like -2 to hit. So yeah.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
I was talking about combat drugs.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
To someone mentioned something and I was gonna respond to it, but I forget who said it and what I was gonna say, so I'm just gonna shut up. I think it was whatever Simon said last. Oh, detoxing. Yeah, no, even if we did, that would be really bad. It
Really?
basically forces you to sweat it out.
Oh.
Yeah. That's how detoxing works, is it forces you to sweat whatever the shit is out.
I did not know that.
Yep. That's why they put you on an IV before they do it, because it dehydrates the fuck out of you.
Ugh.
Second off,
Okay, with that said, you see that the security terminals and the aperture machinery in this room, and actually you also heard in the other rooms also have activated, but you can see the data flowing in also in here, and several things happen. One, like the cameras begin reactivating, at least those that are not destroyed. So you start receiving like revealed portions of the maps, and I will like mention if there are enemies or not. So let me start revealing. Essentially, see the rest of the security checkpoint here. You did mention you did so like a part of it beforehand. You do the rest of the processing office here. You also see there are like two other armories, like the same thing where you fought the Nemesis Brute. So basically places where there's like a stuff that can be looted. So two prototype armories are being revealed. Also garages where they're like mostly disassembling vehicles and whatnot. Also security checkpoints. Here. And actually you would see something more. There's also like one more thing. Okay, so that's here. Okay, so let me take you like you can zoom out a little bit. So this security checkpoint was revealed. No enemies present there. Obviously, unless stated otherwise, assume every area has signs of combat, blood, gore, just rampage, destruction, and some also in some cases signs of like an infection, like some weird fungi growing start to grow on the walls and whatnot. Here are the rest of the processing offices. Here is like one of these two other prototype armories. This is another one. This is like processing office. This is the garage where they disassemble various vehicles and whatnot. And I probably should also reveal that one. No, not hide, reveal. Yeah, so kind of like storage room slash disassemble garage. Another one disassemble garage, and then wait. Is the zooming doesn't work? Okay, it does. Okay, so those are two right next to them security checkpoints. However, this room and these rooms, when you look at this like thicker walls, because you do not see what's in there, but you do remember from the readings that around here there was this like the source of the, let's say, jamming for the lack of better word, and like weird tradition, and you did find some internal documents just calling this place the marker control room. So on these like walls leading to this room, apart from the fact that they are like very thick, reinforced, you see that the scale of infection is like the biggest. The fungi, moss, like weird pseudo organic substance is just growing on this wall and spreading like a cancerous tumor. And even the cameras showing these walls are like having some sort of like static glitch. You can see through them, but there's like obviously from time to time there's like glitch, and like it fucks with the machinery. And just looking at it like makes you. Normally it will make you like skin crawl, because this like looks very unusual, very like weird and dangerous. Okay, so cameras was one more thing, and probably like Izuhara and Gideon would be like looking through the like this computer terminal. Let me double check if I need to like reveal something else.
All of a sudden we see a running Elise in one of the cameras.
I mean, let's see. DC 10. Notice. Wisdom check.
I'm just imagining, like, he's somehow gotten all of his armor and clothes off and is just running around naked in this hellhole.
D10.
Okay. So I would say that you get the not nice, but you get the sight as his body is being ravaged by an infected.
Well, he's not missing in action anymore.
Actually, probably.
I can see that.
Actually, that would be more interesting. Yeah, I mean, you see, like as he's like running and he lost some portion of his equipment. He's not naked, but he's like screaming, and it just happens in a moment when you like catch the sight of him. Because like this is like sci-fi, so probably there are like filters in the recording equipment, so you could probably like set parameters to look for somebody. And he was just like, it took a while, but he was like ambushed by one of these hunters and basically skewered right there and there, and being chewed on.
I will take great pleasure of burning this entire site to the ground. Well, sorry guys, I can confirm that the lease is KIA.
Yeah, Gideon mutters something, but only loud enough for him to hear. Information to the players, he said good riddance, but yeah, he just like very quietly muttered it internally in his armor.
This does not change our objective for now. I have spotted other armories from which we can probably find even better weapons. For now, we should head towards them, just in case we didn't see any monsters in the cameras. Did we?
Oh,
in the
right,
armories?
forgot to reveal one more thing. Because the concentration, like in the revealed areas you didn't see, apart from the one, because there's like one more that's revealed. And here there's like the second source of this like weird signal, source of weird radiation. Because here, the room that was called organic matter processing, you see that the amount of infection, weird growth, cancerous like quasi-organic matter that's growing like a fungi, like a tumor, vines of something just spreading across the walls, and just like this weird goo, like bubbling and spewing forth weird shit. And here you see kind of like a lethargy. You see a lot of infected. And let me see if you can, let me say if you can like see their like names, token names, or not yet.
I can see everything.
Yeah, it's probably like see. Yeah, so see the one that you didn't fight with before. It's kind of like it has like the dragon one has this like pulsating growth on his like neck to like conduct a breath weapon attack. These ones they are like they have like this weird unnatural growth on their backs, like carrying almost like a backpack sort of thing, obviously like much weirder, like disgusting and grotesque. And that seems to be like slithering, like moving on itself, like it's filled with some like this version of like flies, bees or whatever, like some small like bugs, flying bugs, and that's filled. That's essentially like the swarm infected. For now they seem to be in lethargy, and to what is Jack is saying, Sakura is like shakes her head. Hold on, Sergeant. Like, need to establish the contact. This is what we came here for.
Indeed. But from regarding that, we do finally see the location where whatever's doing all this jamming is taking place, and it points to basically the cancerous growth growing out of behind the thick steel doors.
Yeah. Yeah, you had that suspicions beforehand. Okay, and yeah, like more and more devices start coming back to life. So like on the side, I like start bringing up various security logs and whatnot. However, finally, before you have a chance to properly read through them. Actually, quick question, like, do you take a moment to like check out the security logs and try to gather information and figure out maybe what just happened here, to see if this data provides you like insight how the situation developed? Or
Part of me want to say no because we're on a time schedule here, but yeah.
okay. So just basically going through the like security logs, and I'm just gonna give you like a short rundown. It's normal. It at first starts as normal, just informations that okay, artifact A7 logged into the system, placed into room such and such, like normal stuff. However, then it starts at first saying that reported malfunction, just minor repaired. like crew, like scientist stuff reports weird sounds. Nothing has been found. Like small steps that starts signing that something was going on, something was starting to go on, until it starts going like the missing person report has been filed, or like someone had a nervous breakdown. And then essentially what you will get when you like analyze this properly is that apparently the device that he brought, and apparently they are calling it the marker, is the source of weird psionic like interference or slash radiation. And it started affecting, despite the security measures in place, it started affecting the base stuff, meaning they first started hearing hallucinations, then they started getting like more snappy, aggressive, feeling like they are losing their minds, or like hearing voices, until it reached the critical point where several staff members went into like a murderous rampage. They closed themselves off in a marker control room, and then weirder things started happening. Like weird mutated monsters, like humanoid monsters started popping off and just slaughtering their way through the base. The remaining staff and security that somehow remained like sane essentially conducted, like tried their best like contain the situation, but they were unable to do so. And then like several last messages. It's also, however weirdly, this data doesn't say who conducted the lockdown, because like one of the few last logs are like scrambled, data is corrupted. It's not like it's deleted, but it's like broken, and even Gideon nor Izuhara can like figure out if someone conducted a lockdown from here, or like you do not know how it looked really. Compared to what you've like detected unraveled at the like top side. What else? Yeah, and one of the last few logs that can be read, they like lose any sign of like calm, serenity, or like professional. It's like, do not breathe the air. Stay in your armor. The air is corrupted. It's in the air. It's in there. It's calling to us. You need to burn it all. Burn yourselves. It cannot leave. Like more like almost slightly like mad ramblings, the kind of like audio logs you get. And as you're reading through all of that, finally, like the radio transmissions start picking up more. Obviously, there's still a lot of static because the jamming is like the weird interference is still like the source of it is still present. However, so even through all of that static, you do hear at first, like on the open like air, some frantic calls for help, screams of dying soldiers, sounds of firefight. Sometimes like gurgles, you cannot even figure out if somebody's saying something specific, like calls for backup, like that we need to retreat, basically full-blown panic, fubar and whatnot. However, through all of that, finally you do hear through that cacophony, at first somewhat like quieter, but then it's like louder. This is Major Dalton. Does anyone copy? Is anyone on this net?
This is First Lieutenant Jackie Nguyen.
You are Sergeant.
Oh, Sergeant, sorry.
Sakuro is First Lieutenant.
This is Sergeant Nguyen of what was it? The first wave?
Alpha Squad, Alpha Platoon.
Alpha Platoon.
What? Yes, this is First Lieutenant Sakuro. What is going on, sir? What? We need to pull back. Finally, someone is responding. I cannot reach anyone else. What's the status report? Where are you? What's your situation?
Sir, Corporals Lees Hazen and James Sands is KIA. We've come into contact with numerous contacts, and from what we know, these people dug up some form of psionic artifact and is interfering with radio transmissions. We also noticed that it seems to mutate the local populace, and they have become extremely hostile. Request permission for extraction.
Understood. Stand by. Meanwhile, Izuhara is like, Sergeant, Lieutenant, I think we can boost the signal to transmit data from our recordings, because I assume that, I'm gonna say that, like some of your armors might have like small like cameras to record the operation that can be used for debriefing and whatnot.
Mine probably does, being power armor.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, probably the same.
We can upload the data we have gathered and stuff the recordings from our cameras and boost the signal to reach the major ship. Permission to do that?
Make it so.
Understood. Beginning transmission.
If it requires some form of check, Jackie will try to help him.
They already rolled, and I assume that one of the two is like helping, so it's good enough. And yeah, Major is like, hold on, I'm receiving transmission. I assume that's coming from you?
Correct.
Understood. Stand by. And like several more moments pass. Essentially, like on the open rack radio, like as the time passes, there are like getting like less and less sounds of humans. Essentially, it seems like the both Alpha and Bravo platoons that went in, they are getting fucked. And maybe even if there are any survivors, they're like desperately trying to fight their way out of here. While there are no like very sporadic communications from Charlie and Delta that are like holding position around and like clearing the like surroundings. And finally, Major is coming back in, and when he speaks, you immediately hear like a shift in his voice, like this tired, exhausted side of somebody that is reminded again about the burden, the chains of command, And this is the voice that, even though you are like quite new to leadership, you have a gut feeling, Jackie, and probably Frederick might also have something similar, but mostly from the fact that the way he is, and basically knowing that sometimes you have to make a hard call. And Major is like, the other, I'm sorry to say, but the order comes above my head. Cobra Squad is deploying right now to place a explosive device that will be capable of wiping out the entire facility.
Sir, we're inside the facility.
I know.
How long? As you see, kind of a sigh of reluctant acceptance and basically sheer determination to get out.
It depends how long the Cobra Squad will take it to reach the deployment point. Permission to extract granted. Good luck, you will need it. And before he calls off, like probably one of the, even Sakura, even Drakt is like, but sir, the amount of like exotic materials, like the unknown substance in here, the side effects will be, the planet will. Lieutenant, the order came above my head. The planet is determined to be too contaminated. For now, we are to pull back. And if the situation establishes, and then you don't see him, but you hear him like shaking his head. And then he just says, permission to extract granted. Good luck.
Now, quick question is, are they
the Cobra Squad will be not going to this level. They will be probably deploying the device, the bomb, somewhere probably like few levels higher. So probably you are closer towards the bottom side of the complex, and they will be like more like mid upper.
A part of me wants to ask if they're trying to destroy the marker or get rid of any evidence.
Why not both? Yeah. Now I can say this is essentially a story how the planet got Badland World tag.
Yeah. Alright, guys. Priority Alpha is getting out of here. For now, let's double time it to the armories and gear up. Then we're after that we're moving towards the marker and see if we can use our satchel charges to essentially destroy it. After that, let's find a way to get into the upper levels.
Why are we going to bother destroying it if it's about to be exploded?
Now, originally, I thought we were going to do it because of the radio interference, but it could. The bomb might destroy it, or it might just bury it for somebody else to find. But I will leave it up to a vote of those that want to make sure the marker is destroyed. Raise a hand.
I would argue that we could use our det packs to get through the ceiling.
That might risk a large section of the level being caved in.
Yes.
And Lieutenant is like kind of groggy, but then what voting? Aren't you forgetting yourself, Sergeant? We are in the military, not democracy.
No.
Fuck. And then she starts rubbing her temples and let me think.
We didn't see any sign of getting to the upper levels in the cameras, did we?
That's the question. No, essentially as it stands, their side of elevators is destroyed because they use some kind of explosive to cause a chain reaction to destroy this cancerous growth. However, on your side, there is still a possibility that you might be able to use the equipment that you have gotten and blast your way out of here. You do have some explosives experts. However, I remember you did say that you have taken 1 or 2. I think
2.
2 demo charges.
There are more armories though.
It might be enough.
So you're thinking, Prick, you're thinking it might be enough to destroy those growths?
As we are talking, Gideon is looking at something wait, you seeing this? And Izuhara, sirs, Sergeant, Lieutenant, I don't think we are not the only ones knowing that the end is slowly coming. And then he points at the cameras, and you see that here, the infected in here, they are not yet active, but you see that they are starting to slowly shake off the lethargy. They're starting to exhibit slow, small movements. At this point, I'm gonna say this straight up. It's a feeling that they know the hive is under threat, so every resource is being activated. But this is just a sign that they are starting to. And then and then something similar. Actually, you do not see yet, but the audio recordings work in these cameras, and you start hearing many sounds coming from beyond these thick metal doors. Some of them really heavy.
Right then, Plan B. Let's use our 2 satchel charges to blow up the cancerous growth by the elevator and get the hell out of here.
Okay.
Agreed.
There is also the elevators that were on fire.
Yeah, and they are still are. Actually, because okay, now I know what you might be getting at. Would the that's the question. Would your armors be resistant enough?
We just have to get to the first small bit, and then it'd just be smoke problems, but we have the filters.
Yeah.
Because I imagine the entire shaft is on fire. Like, from top to bottom, because that would be insane.
No, but it definitely like reaches your level. Okay, so what is your call?
Meat tower or flames? It's up to you.
Let's go with the Tower of Flames then. Alright, First Officer Sakuro.
Yes, Sergeant.
Are you in good enough shape? Are you in good enough shape to get out?
Of course, Sergeant. I do not know what you're implying.
I'm a trained medical professional. You know exactly what I'm implying.
So you should stop it, Sergeant. We'll move out.
Fine.
Essentially, you can place your tokens like around like this area, because running towards the like your escape route will be still be done with the turn order. So place yourselves where you will begin, and then we'll start doing regular turns. And I'm gonna start rolling for them.
How far do we move in a turn in this system?
10 meters if you're all like doing move action and then you want main action. If you want to double move, you move 20 meters.
Yeah, was it there something we can roll exert to move more?
What now?
Is this one of those systems where you could roll exert to move more?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll for them at first. They will act on the same thing. Swarm is not much. Nemesis Swarm will be that much. And then Deep Roots. Yeah, I think I'm gonna also give like one more thing that Gideon and Izuhara managed to like quickly whip out, and on your like combats you do get like you can like oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? You can still see from the cameras across the facility to keep you appraised of the situation.
Okay.
So that would be useful to see like one thing. Okay. Okay, so I need to place the NPCs where they will begin. Wait, I didn't roll. Okay, James, Gideon, Casper, Alex, Conrad. I didn't roll for Sakura? Or maybe I deleted it for some reason. James, Gideon, Casper, Alex, Conrad. Okay, so I didn't roll for her for whatever reason. Or maybe I deleted it. Okay, so Sakura, Axe 7. Okie dokie. Okay, so she will probably like start from this alongside her soldiers, and then Abram, Casper, Izuhara, and Gideon. Yeah, and James is like last funeral rites. Begun. Okay, so let's begin your escape, Frederick. You begin your turn.
So you said it was 30 and 60?
10 meters normal, 20 if you double
okay.
move. However, I think roughly like 30 feet translates to 10 meters, I believe.
Yeah, that's rough, but yes.
Alright.
I just forgot off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's your double move. Okay, Jackie.
Alright. Here.
Okay. Okay, Gideon is also running. That's 16. That's 20. Okay. Nemesis Swarm shakes off its lethargy. And despite their bulky forms, they can move pretty... Actually no, they are not as quick. So through the cameras you see as they starting like to move. So that's the double move here. Okay, Sakura is like, okay, move it soldiers, go, 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 and then she starts like leading, also with double move. And Casper and Alex will like okay, it's not full 20, but I don't want to. Actually, Casper, not Alex, for fuck's sake. So Casper is like here, here, and probably like, so he wants to like cover this corridor, and then Alex, yeah. So he's gonna move like here. Okay, Now these beauties. So even if you didn't hear the camera, suddenly you hear like a. Okay, not here. Not you don't. You do not hear a trio of growls, but you suddenly hear like more, like heavy, like echo of heavy footsteps and heavy hits as the these ones stop being lethargic, and they're gonna do double move, and they just like blast it through the walls and whatnot. So normally their movement speed is 20, but I'm gonna say that because they're also going through the walls and whatnot, so they double move, but they can just go fucking in a straight line. And because they're all acting in the same at the same time, so that's why they can like do it. So yeah, they like blasted through here. It's gonna need to yeah, small signs that yeah, this doesn't exist anymore. It's like completely fucked. Neither this, neither this, neither this, neither this. It's just like pure fucking destruction incarnate as. Viewers activate. And probably Frederick, looking down the corridor, you probably start seeing like this debris flying off as the walls are getting destroyed, and like through the debris smoke, like you might spot like silhouettes of these huge motherfuckers barreling down. Okay, Conrad starts moving. Yeah, he also wants to like cover this corridor, so he moves like that much. Now the hordes, the hordes. They can think. So one of them goes through the destroyed walls, and they like make a move here. And because these are advanced infected, they made a single move. They normally NPC template they have, they can make 2 attack rolls, and they are using like their portions of like body, like sharpened bone or acidic spit, and they will make 2 attack rolls against Frederick with that much, because this is like horde at full like strength. So plus 7. So that's 1 attack to hit, and that's the second one. I believe second one misses. Does the first one hit or also miss?
First one hits.
Okay. That's range, so they are not as good. They are not nemesis, so this will be calculated to 2 points of damage.
Alright.
Okay, however, the second one breaks through the door. And that's probably as far as they can go. Okay, and now the remaining swarm. Okay, 3 hands. Yeah, this is also like broken and fucked. Okay, they have only 10-meter move range. Okay, but this one can get here and still use its thing. Okay, so to explain why the swarms might be somewhat irritating and or dangerous, it's not their combat prowess, but their utility. as suddenly as the swarm like comes out, you see from the back the literally like swarm of like mutated bees, flies, like it gets like filled with like these bugs, and then it just swarms towards you. It doesn't damage you. This is not the damaging type of swarm. However, because they cause so much like destruction, they are like all like buzzing around you. They like trying to cover your vision. You're like almost covered in bugs. The special thing that these swarm infected have is that they are disruptive, which at least in this iteration causes the target to get -2 to AC